Hi children, today we'll make some operations without parentheses, with like terms, with parentheses, with like terms and unlike terms and so on. Now let's start with operations without parentheses with like terms. The first questions, as you see, 3 times a plus 5 times a. It means I have 3 apples and 5 apples. In total, how many apples I have? Of course, 8 apples. 3a and 5a are like terms. So I may make this addition operation. The result is 8 times a. Now let's continue with the next example. 3 times y plus 5 times y plus 9 times y, or 2 times y. 2y, 5y and 9y are like terms, so I may make addition with them. 2 times y plus 5 times y is this 2 is 7 times y, and plus 9 times y. 7 plus 9 is 16. At the end, I'll get 16 times y. Now let's continue with the last example of this page. 9 times x minus x plus 4 times x. I have 3 terms here and these terms are like terms, so I may make addition and subtraction operations between them. 9 times x minus 1x is 8 times x. After that, plus 4 times x. It means 8 plus 4 is 12 times x. Don't forget to put x at the end. Now 8 times x means I have 8 apples, and 4 times x means here I have 4 apples. In total I have 12 apples. Now let's continue with the next page. Oh, more than 3 terms here I have. Let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 terms and operations are addition and subtraction. These are like terms, as you see. So let's start from the left side and make the operation between first 2 terms. Addition operation, as you see. 12 times x plus 7 times x is 19 times x. Right here, 19 times x. After that, minus 10 times x plus 9 times x minus 5 times x minus 2 times x. Continue by the same manner from the left side between the first 2 terms. Subtraction operation, I have 19x minus 10x is 9x. 9x. After that, write the remaining again. Plus 9x minus 5x minus 2x. Let's make the first 2 from the left side. 9 plus 9 is 18. 18 times x minus 5 times x minus 2 times x. Let's make the first 2 operation from the left side. 18x minus 5x. 18 minus 5 is 13. It's 13 times x minus 2 times x. And finally, 13x minus 2x. 13 minus 2 is 11. So the result, final result, is 11 times x. Now let's come to sixth question. It means let's try to understand the terms. This is 7 times a times b, and the second term is 3 times a times b. A times b exists in both terms. So these two terms are like terms. The operation is addition operation. 7 plus 3. It means 10 times a times b. Now 7 is the coefficient of a times b, and 3 is the coefficient of a times b. For the second term, of course, 3. So the summation may be made here between these two terms. They are like terms because. Let's continue with the next page. Now we'll check or continue with the operations with parentheses with like terms. Now let's start from the left side. Make the operation between these first two terms, 7a and 3a. They are like terms, so I may make this subtraction operation. 7a minus 3a is 4a. And after that, I reached a parenthesis. In front of the parenthesis, I have plus sign. It means I write without parenthesis the terms inside of the parenthesis like in the parenthesis. It means what is 2a? Plus 2a. Right here, plus 2a. After that, minus 5a. Right here, minus 5 times a. Remove the parenthesis without making anything on the signs of the terms inside of the parenthesis. Now, you know this operation. Start from the left side. Make the first operation, summation operation between the first two terms from the left side. 4 times a plus 2 times a is 6 times a. After that, minus 5 times a, again, right? And then 6 times a minus 5 times a. It means 6 apples I have, and I ate 5 of them. The remaining is only 1 apple. So right here, only a. Okay, 6 minus 5 is 1. Now let's continue with the next example. Start from the left side and make the first operation between these two terms. 12x minus 3x. They are like terms, so it's 9 times x. After that, I reached a parenthesis, and in front of the parenthesis, I have minus sign. To remove the parenthesis, I should change the signs of the terms of inside of the parenthesis. It means in parenthesis I have minus 11x. I write here plus 11 times x. After that I have plus 4 times x in the parenthesis. So I should change this sign to minus. Minus 4 times x. And after that, in the parenthesis, I have minus 5 times x. I should write after removing the parenthesis, and if I have the minus sign in front of the parenthesis, the sign of minus 5x to plus sign. So I remove the parenthesis, obeying the rule. Start from here again, from the left side of this expression. 9 times x plus 11 times x. 9 plus 11 is 20. 20x. Minus 4 times x plus 5 times x. Continue with the next step. 20 times x minus 4 times x. 20 minus 4 is 16 times x. Plus 5 times x. And finally, 16x plus 5x. It's 16 plus 5. It's 21 times x. This is the final result of this operation. Now we are making operations with parentheses with like terms. Let's continue with the next page. Now I have some parentheses. Now I have parentheses and I have an inner parenthesis in this parenthesis. Okay, so the huge parenthesis is here, the main parenthesis, and I have another parenthesis here in this parenthesis. Now, so I should start firstly from this inner parenthesis. I should solve the problem with this parenthesis, with this inner parenthesis. Let's write the main parenthesis, 24 times a. After that, I reached a parenthesis, and in front of the parenthesis, I have minus sign. To remove this inner parenthesis, I should obey the rule, which tells us, change the sign of each term in this parenthesis. In this parenthesis, I have 6 times a, so minus 6 times a. So I should change the sign of this term to plus 6 times a. Now let's continue with the next step. After this parenthesis, I reached to another parenthesis, and in front of this parenthesis, I have again minus sign. So let's distribute this minus sign to the inner of this parenthesis. Plus 96 times a becomes minus 96 times a. A plus 4 times a becomes here minus 4 times a. Now let's continue with the next step. Now let this parenthesis, it has make the operation in this parenthesis, but it has plus sign, as you see. So remove the parenthesis without making any change on the signs of the terms. So it means it's 24 times a plus 6 times a. Write the remaining again. 24 plus 6 is 30. 38 minus 96a minus 4 times a. Continue with this step. 30 minus 96. 30 has plus sign. 30 and 96 has opposite signs. So find the difference between them. The difference between them is 66a. What about the sign of 66a? The sign of 66a is the sign of the greater number, which is 96. It has minus sign. Put here minus sign. After that, write minus 4 times a. Finally, I have two terms, like terms, having the same sign. So these terms are 66 and 4. Find their summation, 70 times a, and put the common sign in front of 70 times a. It's minus. Now let's continue with the next. The first, as you see, the first term is minus 12y, sorry. After that, I reach the parenthesis, and in front of parenthesis, I have minus sign. So I should remove the parenthesis by changing the signs of each term in the parenthesis. I have in the parenthesis minus y, it will be plus y here. Minus 11y, plus 11y after removing the parenthesis. Plus 2y, it will be minus 2y after removing the parenthesis. Now let's continue from the left side of this expression. Minus 12y plus y. Minus 12 plus 1. It's minus 11 times y. Plus 11 times y minus 2 times y. Minus 11 times y plus 11 times y becomes 0. Minus 11 plus 11 becomes 0. Their summation is 0. And the remaining is to write the final result. Minus 2 times y. Now let's continue with the next page. Now let's start from the first two. Minus 1a minus 2a. Minus 1 minus 2. It's minus 3. Don't forget to write a again. After this operation, we reached a parenthesis having in front of it minus sign. To remove the parenthesis, we should change all signs of the terms in the parenthesis. Minus 3a becomes plus 3a. Minus 4a becomes plus 4 times a. Minus 5 times a becomes 5 plus 5 times a. Continue with minus 3a plus 3a. It's 0. It's 0. So continue with these two terms summation. Plus 4a plus 5a plus 4 plus 5. It's 9. 9 times a. It's the result, final result of this operation. Now let's continue with the next. Minus a minus 2a. Again, the same, minus 3a. After that, I reached a parenthesis having minus sign in front of it. So to remove the parenthesis, I should change each term of the parenthesis. Plus 3a becomes minus 3a. Plus 4a becomes minus 4a. Plus 5a becomes minus 5a. Now I have like terms here. All of them have minus sign. So I should find their summation. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 plus 5 is 15. You may make in your head these operations. Do not start from the left side 2 by 2. Okay? I decided that these terms are like terms, and these terms have the same sign. So I should find their summation. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 plus 5 is 15. A. Don't forget to write A. 15 times A. But what is the sign of 15 times A? A. The sign of 15 times A is the common sign of these four terms, which is minus. Now let's continue with the next page. Now we reached the operations with parentheses with unlike terms. Now 3x. After 3x, I reached a parenthesis having in front of it plus sign. To remove this parenthesis, I should not change the sign of each term in the parenthesis. It means in parentheses I have plus 5x. I should write here plus 5x. And minus 2y. I should write here again minus 2y. Now let's start from here, from the first two terms, from the left side of this expression with these two terms. 3x and 5x are like terms. So I may make this addition operation. Plus 3 plus 5, 8 times x minus 2 times y. So, can I continue? Can I continue with this operation? 8 times x minus 2 times y. As you see, they are unlike terms. Maybe x may be an apple. X may represent an apple, and y, for example, a banana. For example, banana. So 8x means 8 apples. 2 times y means 2 bananas. So I have 8 apples and 2 bananas, but I ate 2 bananas. So there is nothing to make for these two terms because they are unlike terms. If the terms are unlike terms, then you cannot make any addition and subtraction operations. This is the simplest. This is the simplest result of this given algebraic expression. Simplest result. So, by the same manner, let's continue with the next question. 3x, right, firstly. After that, I reached a parenthesis having in front of it a plus sign. So I should write each term without changing their parentheses signs. This is 5x plus 5x and minus 2y. After that, I reached another parenthesis having in front of it a minus sign. So I should change the sign of each terms in this parenthesis to remove the parenthesis. In parenthesis, I have plus 3x. I should write here minus 3x. And in parenthesis, I have minus 5y. I should write here plus 5 times y. And we have here like and unlike terms. Like and unlike terms. I may make summation and subtraction operations between like terms. So 3x plus 5x is 8 times x. Minus 2y minus 3x plus 5y. So let's continue to make the operations with the like terms. 8 plus 8, x and minus 3x are like terms. Plus 8 minus 3 is 5 plus 5. So I should write here plus 5x. And what about the remaining? Minus 2y plus 5y. They are like terms. They are another like terms here. But 5x, x and y are unlike terms. So I cannot make any operations, addition and subtraction between x and y. But I may make operation between minus 2y and plus 5y. Minus 2 plus 5 is 3. 3 times y. Now I reached the final result here. 5x plus 3y. This is the simplest result. I simplified this algebraic expression to here, to this. Now let's continue with the next page. Now in the first parenthesis, I have a plus sign in front of it. So I should write the terms in the parenthesis without changing their signs. Again, in the second parenthesis, I have a plus sign in front of it. I should write again without changing the signs of each term in the parenthesis. But in the last parenthesis, I have a minus sign in front of it. So to remove the parenthesis, I should change the signs of all terms. In parenthesis, I have plus m. Here, I should write minus m. I have in parenthesis minus n. I should write here plus n. Let's continue. I may make, from now on, I may make the summation and subtraction operations between like terms. Plus m, it means plus 2m, and what about this? Minus m. 2m plus 2m minus m. The result is plus m. 2 minus 1. What about the other like terms? Minus n plus n, 0. So the remaining is plus n. I should write here plus n. m plus n is the simplest form of this algebraic expression. Now let's simplify this algebraic expression like before. The first parenthesis has plus sign in front of it. So I should write the terms of this parenthesis without changing their signs. Again, in the second parenthesis, I have plus sign. Again, I should write without changing the signs of each term in this parenthesis. And the last parenthesis has minus sign in front of it. So to remove the parenthesis, I should change the signs. It means plus 4x becomes here minus 4x, plus y becomes minus y. Let's continue and make the operations between the like terms. 3x, x, and minus 4x. They are like terms. 3x, it's plus 3x, plus x is 4, plus 4x. After that, plus 4x, minus 4x. The result is 0. Plus 4, minus 4. There is nothing from x. So let's continue with the next, with the other like terms. Plus 2y minus 2y minus y. Plus 2y minus 2y is 0. 0 minus y is minus y. The remaining here is only the minus y finally. So I simplified this algebraic expressions to minus y. Continue with the next. Now 3 times AB minus 7 times AB. 8AB means A times B. BA means B times A. So A times B and B times A are the same. A times B is equal to B times A. So instead of B times A, I may write A times B. Let's start from the left side. 3 plus 3, sorry, it's plus 3, plus 3, A times B, minus 7, A times B. Plus 3 minus 7 is minus 4, A times B. Minus 4 times A times B. After that, plus BA, right here, plus A times B. B times A and A times B are same. After that, I reached a parenthesis having minus sign in front of it, so I should write by changing the signs of each term in the parenthesis. It means in the parenthesis I have minus 2 times A times B. It becomes plus 2 times A times B. After that, plus B times A. It means minus B times A or A times B. So let's start, or let's continue with the next step by making this operation. Minus 4 times A times B plus A times B. Minus 4 plus 1. It means minus 3 times A times B. Plus 2 times A times B minus A times B. After that, minus 3 plus 2. It means minus AB. Minus 1 AB. Minus 2, minus 3 plus 2. It's minus 1. Minus 1 times A times B means minus A times B. The remaining to write here, A times B minus. Minus 1, it's minus 2. Don't forget to write A times B. Final result is minus 2 times A times B. Now let's continue with the next. In the first parenthesis, I have plus sign in front of it. So I should write without changing the signs of each term. Plus 3x plus 2y. After that, I have a huge parenthesis and the inner parenthesis in this huge parenthesis. So let's write here first the huge parenthesis, and then first make the operations between the inner parentheses. First inner parenthesis has minus sign, as you see, so I should change the signs of terms. Minus 2x minus y. After that, again minus sign in the second inner parenthesis here. So I should change the signs of each term in the parenthesis. Minus 2y becomes plus 2y, plus x becomes minus x. Now let's continue. I can't make this operation because they are unlike terms. Right here again the same. But here I have minus sign in front of this huge parenthesis. So I should write each term. I have 4 terms here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I should change their signs. Plus 2x plus y minus 2y plus x. Now let's continue to make the operation with like terms. I have plus 3x plus 2x and plus x. Plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. It means 6 plus 6x. So let's continue with the next operation with the other like terms. Plus 2y plus y and minus 2y. Plus 2y plus y is 3y and 3y minus 2y. 3 minus 2 is 1. 1 times y. It means y. This is the simplest form or the simplest result of this algebraic expression. That's all. Now today's lesson is over. Hope to see you soon on the next lesson, okay? Bye.